we have surveillance vehicles, we have KDF, we have a number of security agencies in Turkana South. But unfortunately, the response we are experiencing, this response can only happen during the daytime. The bandits have come up with a new strategy. And this strategy is only to raid at night. When our security agents are sleeping, they cannot operate at night. Honorable Speaker, what is the take of our CS with regards to this matter? Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Speaker.
Hold on. Thank you, Honorable Ariko. Avoid the temptation to make a speech in the guise of a question. Honorable Kangogo.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Mr. Kindiki. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Cabinet Secretary, the National Police, Mr. CS, they don't have the capacity to handle the bandits in Kerio Valley. Mr. Speaker, on Friday, peacemakers from West Pokot and my constituents, Mr. Speaker, recovered about 7 heads of cattle, and they were taken to a CSU camp in a place called Kamele, so that to be handed over to the owners the following day. Mr. Speaker, that night, a daring bandits entered into a CSU camp and took away all the animals. On Friday, Mr. Speaker, the same thing with the Honorable Member for Baringo North talked about. A bandit who was arrested and taken to county headquarters in Iten, where we have about 100 policemen, the county headquarters, Mr. Speaker. And then 10 bandits came all the way about 200 kilometers away to rescue their own, and they successfully took away from the police. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the CS to confirm to this House, Mr. Speaker, that the National Police Service are unable to handle the bandits and bring a motion to this House so that we can have the Kenya military or the KDF to take over the operations of bandits in Kerio Valley.
The women rep Turkana, she's left. Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
1 minute.
Okay, thank you. I only have a very brief question to the CS. Right now, we're being told that the person who was booked in at Iten County Referral was a bandit. Was there any OBLs who were booked that particular person had previously been identified as a bandit or not? And then we would wish to know, was he taken by the police, or if there are other people who came to the county referral and took him, if people are calling them bandits, can they name them by their names? So what I wish to know is, was there an OB elsewhere that Dennis was booked as a bandit? And the other ones who came to the rescue, were they police, or if as bandits? Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Speaker.
you. Last, the Honorable Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker,
Let
Mr. Speaker.
Minister be ready to answer after Farah.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, be patient. If I'm satisfied there is enough interest, I'll give another round.
Mr. Speaker, this is
I must commend the government on this, because this is the first time the military has been used for a peacekeeping in this country where there was not a genocide the way it was done in Wagala, in Wajir in 1984. And my biggest worry was that this was going to be heavy, and it's going to be military is not for these kind of things. But the fact that you have protected the lives of the innocents and you're just looking for the actual bandits themselves deserves a lot of compliment. My question, Mr. Speaker, is, Mr. Minister, have you tried some soft power? Have you tried to find out how you can deal with the elders, with the communities, and bring the communities together, as opposed to maintaining basically law and order in that place? Have you also tried to look at the social issues that underpin, because there's only one community that everybody's complaining about, the Pokots. The Pokots are the poorest, they are the least educated, there's the least what they call infrastructure in order.
Order, Farah. Order. The member from Balambala, you are out of order. Can you conclude your question?
Mr. Speaker, we need to educate those children, Mr. Speaker. We have heard this before, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Minister, thank you very much. I've discussed some of these things with you, and I'm sure you're going to take them into consideration. But let's look at the social conditions in there, first of all. When you have a very poor social condition somewhere and everywhere around there has got some wealth, then of course they will go and try and go and attack those places. So my question is that let's look at soft power. It has worked in Northeastern Province, for your information. And also let's see how we can change the situation of the children of Pokot there. Thank you.
Who is raising a point of order? Moroto, what is your point of order? Because Pokots were mentioned?
Yes. Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say thank you very much for giving me also this chance to say, when these people are talking, they are talking as if they are the holiest. When they are also killing. I lost about 5 people the other day and this morning in a Takwel.
Honorable
From
Moroto,
the other south.
I've given you a floor because you are challenging what Farah was saying. Now you are pursuing a totally different agenda. What was out of order that Farah was saying? That's the reason why I gave you the floor.
No, Mr. Speaker, I was just asking what I have in my mind. I was not following what Farah said. Oh. My question, I just want to, Mr. Speaker, I don't want to take time. I want to congratulate the CS, and I want to ask him to use the intelligence services. For these guys here speaking here, let them also be put in so that they can know how to control themselves down there on the ground. I come from Kapenguria. We used to have the problem between West Pokot and Trans Nzoia. But this time, there's nothing there. Because we met and we sat like leaders and walked together. These guys, now they're now talking here, and they cannot even go to ground, and they invite us to come and tell them what to do. Mr. Minister, start with these people. The members, put them in.
Honorable Moroto, you are totally out of order. You are imputing improper motives on your colleagues. Minister. Minister, if you can give quick, short answers to those short questions. We still have 4 questions for you, and we have done very poorly. 45 minutes on this one.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I will do as guided on the first matter. Allow me, Mr. Speaker, to say on the issue that was raised on a point of order about tabling statistics on recoveries of livestock. I didn't say I'm carrying the statistics. I said if the House directs, I can table them in the House even
I
by
heard
Tuesday.
you that way.
Yes,
You can,
Mr. Speaker, I can, if you direct,
yes.
I can table the statistics of recoveries from the time the operation began. In fact, we can even take it backwards a bit, 2 months before, and these 2 months when there have been an operation, and the recoveries and where and what is remaining. Mr. Speaker, also, I maybe inform the House through you that I am informed that the High Court in Chuka has ruled in favor of the Prosecution Council and in favor of the state to cancel the anticipatory bail on the suspected killers. Mr. Speaker, other than that, let me mention or respond to the other issues quickly. We are strengthening the independent police oversight authority to supplement the work of the Internal Affairs Unit of the National Police Service to provide an independent arm of the state that can help in dealing with extrajudicial killings. I confirm to the House, Mr. Speaker, and I assure the House and the member for Manyata that all extrajudicial instances of extrajudicial killings are actively under investigation, and the policy of this administration is zero tolerance on extrajudicial killings. The police officers have been informed accordingly that we shall not protect any officer who misuses their firearm to kill people other than what the law provides on the use of lethal force in law enforcement. Honorable Speaker, with regard, and that includes the issue around the killing in Kianjokoma. Mr. Speaker, the second one, raised by the member for Baringo North, the Honorable Makilap, that yes, it's true, there was that incident, and I want to tie that to the other supplementary question raised by the member for Elgeyo Marakwet, the women rep, because they are related. There was an incident at Iten Hospital. The suspect involved, the person involved is a suspected bandit because